Sunday Bites and Tidbits. This life they'll help you live it and get yourself together. Sunday Bites and Tidbits.
Hey everybody, welcome to Sunday Bites
and Tidbits.
Is this what's going to happen every week?
Every week until she gets it right. We want you guys to learn the song. Come on, Babette, one more time. Sunday Bites and Tidbits. You know what? That is hilarious because that's when you see some people trying to riff in songs and they don't really know how. That's kind of what that sounds like.
I'd rather hear somebody sing it straight. Just sing it straight.
You do it. You do. Do it for the audience.
Go ahead, do it.
For me?
Yeah.
Sunday
Bites and Tidbits.
She made it
better than me.
I just moved my light.
But it sounded good.
It sounded very pretty, and but you got the vibrato, but you added all the flavor to it. We're trying to be cute. You trying to be like.
Now we have to do it. Come on, all three together. One, two,
okay,
three.
Sunday Bites and
Okay, so how are you guys this week? You know, speaking of singing, the new voice is happening.
I know, and I'm loving it because I love Snoop Dogg.
Snoop is a coach. That's going to be so much fun.
I saw it was last week. First episode. Second episode's tonight.
Oh,
Really?
Was it? Okay. Yeah. You know what else is tonight?
What?
Babette, you know.
The debate. But you know what is really sad? War. All we do is fight.
You know what? Babette, this has been my thing this week. My thing this week is Abraham. Every time I need to hear something, the Lord will send something through Abraham. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, Esther. This week, it's all about reminded, feel good. Do whatever you need to do to feel good. Just that's your goal. That's it. And believe it or not, it ain't that easy to do.
It's not that easy.
But if you can, because you know, there's a scripture that says the joy of the Lord is your strength. If the enemy can steal your joy, you don't have to do anything else because you feel weak and you feel weighted down. But if you can amp up that joy and feel good, protect your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life.
Go ahead, our sister.
Hey.
Sylvia Mathis church today. Everybody say amen. Amen. You know what? I think the key to all of this is having people in your life that can remind you that to stay above all that other energy.
Yeah.
It has been a little bit challenging for several people. I know I've had, 3 people I know, didn't know well, but I knew who died this week. And so, you know, it's very, you want people in your life to say, I got you. And then, you know, with all the other stuff, and now we're back in a heat wave over here in LA. It's just.
Oh, you are in LA?
Not as bad as it was when we were 117, but it's close to 100. And I can always tell because upstairs in my place, I need the fan on.
Yeah.
That's like, it's so hot. And then the ants come out, the little ants.
The ants.
That's crazy because it's like very Arkansas cool and all the colors are coming out. And it's kind of like we're having that 70-degree perfect weather, which is kind of good. So yeah, that's a blessing.
But we're not.
Sorry. Yeah, but you get to be California.
And we send our blessings to everybody that's going through it from that
Florida, Georgia, Texas, Louisiana. I mean, it hit a bunch of people. Yeah, absolutely.
But we gotta be a little bit more. Come on now, you know this is some global warming going on here. These storms are massive and angry.
Anyway. Speaking of, so last night at midnight or this morning at midnight, the strike started.
I know.
So we're praying for those families too, because that affects not just the people.
We want it to be short.
Right. We want you know what? I was telling Mitchell this morning, people don't wake up on Monday and go, we're gonna go on strike tonight.
No.
By the time you get to a strike, a lot of stuff has happened.
This has been going on for a while.
Yeah. My brother's a truck driver. He drives my baby brother drives a semi truck, so he's obviously affected by it. But we just pray for everybody, and we just send it, that it ends quickly, and all the things for everybody affected, which is really
we're all going to be affected by it, especially if it doesn't end quickly.
Girl, I was on the phone to Isaiah's doctor yesterday. So we don't need to be going 30 days without meds. I was like, no worry, we got you. So yeah.
So our guest is going to be here shortly. Actually, she's here now, but do we want to say? Yes, she's already here. Do we want to share anything about what we've kind of our takeaway for this week? Anything we could think of that's our takeaway for this week?
I kind of already did it.
Yeah, I kind of did too.
Yeah,
finding a support, finding someone, having people in your life who align with you so that when you're going through things, they can uplift you and not feed it.
And feeling good, choosing to find something to feel good about, just connecting with that moment of the good feeling.
Well, I'm so excited to invite our next guest in. Her name is Star Simmons, and her company is called VKind. So there's a lot of need for kindness. We had kindness.org. And then last week, Leo, when he said, what would the name of his book be? He said kindness. So I think people are just craving for some kindness, just some softness, just some gentleness. I know, I just felt like I'm just gonna get the kindness out of the people. Gonna get it out. Anyway, Star is amazing. I've had an opportunity to work with her. Babette has had an opportunity to work with her. And Sylvia, I'm sure at some point you will have an opportunity to work with her. She is an amazing powerhouse doing wonderful things in the vegan community. And I'm going to let her tell you about what she's got coming up. Now, last year, I'm going to pull down my camera. She had something called the VKind Experience. Huh?
I was there.
Yes, you were. And this year they're doing another one. So out in Arizona. But we're gonna let her tell you about it. Let's welcome our guest, Star Simmons.
Where is Star?
Simmons in the house. She's connected.
Star so long.
Welcome, Star. Glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Yay!
We're excited to talk about all the things that you're doing, all the things that you've done, and what's coming up for you.
Yes.
2024. So why don't you get started telling us a little bit about how you got started in the movement?
I got started a long time ago, back when all the good foods weren't out so much, back in 1998. But knowing the different terms that we all use for each other as our labels, I would consider myself more pescatarian in 1998 when I went, because I would still eat a little bit of salmon. And my excuse at that time was, well, they swim upstream, mate, and they die, so I can consume. We all, again, tell stories. But I officially went fully vegan in 2016. And I have never looked back. And, I believe that we all go for different reasons, whether it be the health, whether it be environment, for the animals. For me, it was always and will always be about the animals. So that is my journey and why I chose to go vegan.
Oh, honey, let me tell you about her. and them animals. She is not lying. And she was supposed to be coming to eat at my restaurant. She saw a dog down the street, homeless. She never came to the restaurant. She was like,
Wow.
I gotta stay here and take care of this dog.
Wow.
She was there with that dog until she found that dog someplace to go.
So were you always like this, even as a child?
I was, I didn't realize it then. I had a horrible traumatic experience as a child very early on. My uncle, my grandmother's cat had babies, and one of the babies was born with a bad leg. And my uncle at that time, and I think maybe about 8 years old, he said, look, this cat's going to die. I need to take it out and kill it. And it traumatized me, right? Because all I could visualize was, how did he do it? How did the animal suffer, this poor kitten? And it was a white kitten, I'll never forget. And I was like, but why? When I look back now, there was no reason for that. That was just the place that we were in at that time, right? So long ago. I mean, I'm an old woman now, so older woman now is what I should say. But back at that time, it really impacted me greatly. And I would rescue dogs in the area. And it's just, I just felt for them. I also suffered greatly as a child. I was born into a drug addicted family, and my grandmother raised me. We were very poor on food stamps and, barely had food. I had no clothes. And so I guess when you grow up, like in that empathetic place and compassionate, you feel it on a whole different level. You know what I mean?
Wow.
That's some deep stuff. I'm sorry.
No, that's what this
We
is.
want your story.
And it's great to meet you, by the way. Hello.
Hi.
I love the work that you're doing. I've been, of course, Terrah introduced me to you and your work and everything that you do. And I spend time on your website. You don't know that, but I do. And I look at things, and I'm excited about the events and things that are coming up. But to your story, you're not the first person to come on this show and share that their childhood that was not a childhood of privilege. And so I'm really excited to hear more about you and what you're doing and just everything. So great.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. That part I would have never known. Life is such an amazing journey, and that's what we do. We go through all of that to do what it is we're supposed to do. And I know you love you some animals, because when I stopped eating meat, I was only thinking about my indigestion, my heartburn, and I couldn't poop. So that was the only thing I thought about. Am I going to be able to poop? But it then came full circle, and it was about the whole. It was about the oneness. It was about all of it and my connection to all of it. So I'm just so happy that you came on here and shared that with us, because y'all Star is rich as hell. Y'all, Star.
Rich? What? No, you know what? And it's so funny. I have to change that. I want to be rich so that I can do more for animals. But the fact is, and I will be fully transparent with you here, is that I actually took a personal loan to do this next event, because, all the great things I've done, Terrah, we've done with Peeled and all the things, they've not actually produced, the financial backing. How's that? But that's how much I believe in this event and this space. And that's why I was like, you know what? LA was something different doing that last year. And of course, I think you all know that if you attended, you didn't attend our event. Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't know about it.
And she lives in Arkansas.
There you go.
Yeah. I didn't know about it. Tell us about it, because it's in November, right? Is it November?
Is.
Yeah.
It is. So last year we did it in LA, and it was I want to say my vision. I have a big vision, right? But sometimes, and Babette knows that, and so does Terrah. Sometimes that vision, it's hard to make it a reality. And so I have this big dream of just creating an experience so that we can remove people from their everyday life and get them thinking in a different way. But it was a little over the top in terms of like the decoration and just what we tried to pull off.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful, but we wanted 5,000 people there, right? So that's the thing is we didn't get that. So of course that incurred a huge loss. But this year I'm much more based in reality and definitely creating a smaller event. It's 15,000 square feet. And the difference this time is that we've added a new audience to come in.
Guess who's gonna love this one?
Who's gonna love this one?
I'm gonna love it. I'm definitely gonna love it.
Star, would you tell us about VKind, about what the event is, about what all of that is for our audience, because they don't know. And so I'd love for them to know, so they could help in some way or participate or attend or whatever. Yeah.
That would be wonderful. Thank you. Well, VKind originally started as an app. We wanted to promote vegan-only businesses. We're almost up at about 4,000 companies and brands, but it has been a challenge, the technology. And then, of course, the big shift in AI is like we needed to pivot, right? So in doing the directory and really promoting the businesses, it just wasn't enough for me. So that's when VKind Studios kind of branched off, and we did the Peeled Cooking Show, which lovely Babette was a part of, was our co-host, along with Dr. Shabnam Islam. And then we had Terrah, which was our co-director. And that was like so fun to me. And I had big dreams of having a network pick it up. And so, not happened yet, but doesn't mean it won't in the future. And that was really a great experience. But it also started me thinking about the storytelling component of anything that we do, right? And, this other opportunity came along, which Terrah was our director. Have you had the opportunity to see The Next Girl yet?
Are you asking me if I've seen The Next Girl?
Okay, just so you know, Star, Sylvia has been very instrumental. Sylvia is the friend that's been helping me with the next version of it.
Wonderful.
So she loves it, and she's been very instrumental in helping me to get to whomever we need to get to. So
I love it. I love everything about it. I talk about it. I promote it. I share it with people. People are probably tired of hearing me talk about it. I don't care because it's the same. I've been vegan for almost 30 years. So for me, it's not even like a choice. It's just, Terrah was talking. I keep wanting to call you Deb. We'll tell them why in a minute. Why I keep wanting to call you Deb.
She knows I have two names.
Okay.
We couldn't spell her name right for a while.
But Sylvia and I go back to about 15, 16 years old. So that's why she knows me as Deb. So It gets a little confusing which name she's supposed to say. So
I think the audience is used to me flubbing it at this point. But what I was going to say is you mentioned earlier, Dee, about how people can maintain this lifestyle with all this delicious food, right?
Right.
That food's not delicious to me. And it's not that it's not beautiful and it doesn't look all the ways, but I eat all the pork and beef and all that. I eat all of it that I want. And I eat all it to the point where, and I don't know if you guys will attest to this. And those of you let us know in the comments if you're vegan and you've experienced this. Your taste, what you love changes. What satiates you changes. I used to be, I loved, I guess this is a promotion kind of, but I loved Oreo cookies when I was a kid. Only like the plain old ordinary Oreo cookies, like put them in milk, something. And now I can't, I think it might be the refined sugar in it because everything tastes like plastic to me. everything tastes like not real, unless it's what I normally eat. And I think I think that's a thing that just happens after so many years. You develop a taste for things that's very different, that very different than like a more conventional diet. But full circle to
They're
the
processing food differently too, though.
Yeah, exactly. But full circle to what to the project that Deb directed, that thing is bananas. And I want to see that thing and the extended version of that thing just go all the places and all the spaces. We have to put a link in this episode, and not only for people to see it, but for people to get a chance to have an awareness of the work, because it leads you to the VKind work, and you get a chance to see all of that. For me, that's just a really big deal. I really want people to see the short, and congratulations on all your awards and the new festival. It's huge. It's amazing.
You know what's beautiful, and I'll say what's beautiful about Star, and I know she said, the projects haven't really reaped the financial benefits, but I'm a firm believer that you put your money where your mouth is. And it doesn't always align exactly as you want, but it opens up doors and it brings more awareness and more people. So I always told Star I will work with her forever. First of all, working with her is just wonderful. She's just the kindest, nicest. She don't play either. Don't mess with Star, because Star does not play, but she's also very kind. And so I just say this, so many projects don't make money, not just the ones you did. I mean, they're big blockbuster movies with stars in it and blockbuster television shows that go wong, 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 after millions of dollars. It's just the nature of what we do. Yeah. But the thing is that you just got to keep doing it, which is what you're doing with another experience. You revamp, you readjust a few things, and you say, okay, we're coming again. And I love that you put your money where your mouth is, because a lot of people have no problem just constantly using other people's money. But if they don't have any money, then they sit waiting for someone, instead of using if you really believe in it, then use your resources. Put your money into it. I'm just a firm believer in that. So I just love you. And so what is new with this one? I know you got a new component to it that Babette would love.
So my other day job, because I run VKind, VKX, but I also run another company, is the cannabis sector. And in this realm, what I discovered is the events have a certain feeling to them, a certain genre, if I may say that. And a lot of the events that I've gone to, there have not been any vegan options, to the point that they do barbecues where they roast the whole pigs. And I'm like, oh boy, I got to change this, because I look at people who consume cannabis. Some of us do it for a fun time, Chef Babette. She's like, no comment.
Not to cut you off, but actually Babette does it to go back to sleep.
That's right. She does.
It's actually like when I get off work, instead of having a drink of alcohol, I have that.
Yeah, it's your wind down. And then she goes to sleep. She doesn't like go out and party and dance on tables. I don't know.
You don't do that, Babette?
No,
You'll love the newest product. I think we had to try it, but it's a beverage enhancer. Anyway, one of the goals too in this brand is converting the whole line to a vegan line, because the current product, most of the products are made from gelatin. And so we came out under when I took over running it, we came out with the beverage enhancer, which is vegan, and the first live resin capsule. So what I decided, in kind of seeing all the different events, going to them and not wanting to give up on this dream of VKX, was why not bring in a cannabis lounge so that I feed them all this amazing food, which is non-medicated, of course. They have that experience. Then they go to the cannabis area, which is now also converted into a immersive mushroom grow room, functional mushrooms, okay, non-psychedelic. But so people are in a bit of a heightened state. What happens when we're in a heightened state or we're meditating? I feel like we're more open to receive information, right? And things kind of impact us a little bit different. So throughout the experience of going to these different food activations and traveling the world, we're going to be dropping messages all along the way about kindness-based living. And that's what kind of VKind is involved into, is kindness-based living. We can all do a little bit better.
We can.
You're speaking my language there, Star.
Well, that is amazing. It's wonderful and it's needed. I'm not a part. Well, Babette laughed at me because one time I tried to I just needed to come down because I was. My friend said, "Go and get a gummy thing." I didn't know anything about it. He said, "But
Gummy thing.
make sure it doesn't have this. Make sure it doesn't have this. Make sure it doesn't have this." He said, basically, you're not getting anything.
You
So
got something.
First of all I remember was I thought I was the smartest person in the world. And then I thought I was dying at the same time. I was like, okay, I'm dying. I couldn't go to sleep. It was almost a comedy show in my head. And I took a little piece. I said, you know what? Whatever I'm made of, none of that works for me. Now, maybe I haven't had the right thing. None of it works for me. I don't like my head being wonky, but it was so funny because I was reading a script and I was like, I am so smart. I'm the smartest person in the room. I was the only person in the room. And I was like, I'm so smart. I understand everything, but I think I'm dying because I can't close my eyes. So I said, okay, we're done. Never again, And
But you bring up a great point. You bring up a great point, Terrah, because the difference in the company that I work with is that we are really scientific focused. We have 2 PhDs, we have 6 patents in one of the products that we hope to launch. And so we're much more about the educational component. Once somebody has a bad experience and they do a gummy with 10 milligrams or something, and they're like, I'm dying or I need to go to the hospital, they were not given the right product for them. I'm not somebody that can do 10 milligrams. It's too strong for me. I'm a 3 milligram, 2 milligram micro doser, so to speak, and I don't do it during the day. Again, everybody has their own, journey and how they want to take it. I talk to people who do 400 to 500 milligrams a day. I would be on the floor under my desk crying, but they're completely functional, just absolutely would never be able to tell. It's crazy.
So this is a component of the VKind experience that's coming up?
Yeah.
And so when is it happening? Where is it happening? What do people have to do to be a part of it? Are you still looking, are people, you're probably pretty close to having all of your vendors or whatever you're going to have.
We're sold out on sponsorships, which was nice to say.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So tell us where people can, come see it and when it is and all that.
Yeah, so it's VKX 2024 is the website. You can buy tickets. All your tickets include all your food. Chef Babette, we have a European raw tasting. And here's the best part. Out of all the 15 dishes that we have, every single dish offers a soy, gluten-free, and nut-free option so that somebody that wants to come that has those allergens are like, oh, I'm only going to have 1 or 2 things because it's not available, but we've made it available for every dish. Nice. So we can accommodate everyone.
So stop.
Wait, when is it?
No, sorry, November 8th and 9th.
November 8th and 9th, okay.
Right after the election when we're all going to need to party no matter what. Right?
It's a beautiful thing. November is actually World Kindness Month.
That's right.
And World Kindness Week is the 11th through the 17th.
Nice.
So it's really neat that all kind of intersects in that way. Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I know World Vegan Day and all that, but I didn't World Kindness. Thank you for sharing that.
So for those of us who've been to last year, that I'll just explain a little bit. It was an immersive experience. So when you walk in, whatever she had, the Under the Sea, she had the Travel to Africa, she had.
Beautiful.
So whatever room you walked in, you got a sense of that energy with the dancers, and then the food accompanied that particular part of the region. What what would be different this year for those who experience it? So we're walking in, and what are we going to experience?
There's definitely going to be more immersive elements and more messaging throughout. We have a heavy focus on the mushrooms. Why? Because we know mushrooms have the ability to completely heal the planet on so many levels. The technology that's coming out, I mean, they have mushrooms that eat plastic. The food aspect, people that are craving the chicken are craving that texture. You can get it from the mushrooms, and the health benefits are there. So you actually start your journey walking through what we call a mycelium network. And so when you come into this room of where all the food is going to be, the music, the visuals, it's just going to put you in this almost a meditative state where you're going to be wow, because it's still taking you to the different worlds. Yeah. Then you're going to come out and then go into, as I'd mentioned, the cannabis area, where we've got one brand that's taken over a whole room, and it's called an edible wonderland for those, again, that love the edibles. And then we have a chill lounge, which will have a DJ.
You're going to need it.
Yeah. And then that's where we also have what we call the hippie hideaway room, which we've taken 7 different mushrooms and we're building out a mini grow in there so that people can come in and be educated again about the benefits of functional mushrooms.
Cool.
I'm a huge, we do, there's a place here called Blue Moon mushrooms or Blue Oyster, and they have all these beautiful mushrooms, and we are all about the lion's mane over here. Because at least from preparing mushrooms and cooking and all of that, and they do. I make a chicken sandwich with my lion's mane, and also a steak with the lion's mane. That's just insane, and it's so good. And there's just so many health benefits, and so many from a textural perspective. I find that it's pretty on point. Yeah, that's exciting. I want to go. I need to come to LA because it's in LA, right? It's going to be
in Arizona.
Oh, it's in Arizona. Tell the people. I don't know. So it's in Arizona. Okay.
Yeah, the 2 events I did were in LA, which was VKX, but we also had our Peeled premiere, which was, again, amazing. But I decided to do it in my hometown, one, because of the connections, in particular, the cannabis connections. And there is a big community here in need, so the other thing that we do is we have a charitable component that portion of the ticket sales go to charities. And so one of the charities we're working with helps families get back on their feet. And then we also are working with A Better Piggies, which does pig rescue. And you were, I don't know if you remember from Peeled when she brought, we're
Yes.
Organization.
Oh, that's so good.
This is a perfect example. I know you understand this, but Peeled the premiere was at the Directors Guild of America, if you both remember, because you ladies look so gorgeous. Oh my God, that blue outfit you wore.
So did you.
Thank you. But it was so great because we had a vegan bacon company, Thrilling Foods, out on the patio, and we had the food being made by the chefs. It was really unique.
Wait a minute. And no. We're not going to just throw this that she just. First of all, I go to lots and lots of Hollywood events, lots of top-notch, lots of low-notch events. And when I tell you, this was up there with the best of the best of the best. Meaning, when you walk out on the patio, it was like try every kind of food you wanted to try for free. Everything was included. And there was so much of it that I just kept going, oh my God, I'm in hog heaven. I mean, you could have had your burgers, your fries, your desserts, your soul food, your Mexican food, your Asian food, your mushroom. I mean, everywhere you turned, they do such an elegant, Star, and I'm just going to toot your horn for a second because, we do this, Sylvia, we know. When you are part of someone who, regardless of whether they have the funds or not, but when you walk into whatever event, even Peel, the way it was done on a top-notch class, the way we shot, so I can't applaud you enough, my darling. If you guys are out there in Arizona or nearby, or you want to get a couple of friends to drive down, get your ticket, because you will have the best time. Because first of all, you're going to get to try all this amazing food. And if you want to take a couple of little bites, cannabis, or however you puff, smoke, whatever, I don't know, you can do that and then go sit in the hippie room and chill out and come back home the next day. I'm just saying, you don't want to miss this experience.
Where in Arizona?
Walter Studio. So it's basically downtown Phoenix.
Downtown Phoenix. Okay.
Yeah, it's about 6 minutes from the airport, so somebody could easily fly in there.
My sister lives in Maricopa.
Oh,
So I kind of know the area.
Yeah.
How far is Maricopa?
Huh?
How far is Maricopa?
It's probably about 40 minutes.
I was gonna say about an hour,
Yeah.
45 minutes. Yeah. It's not rough. I mean, it's easy to pop over, you know.
So we've got a lot of people driving in from Tucson, which is where we shot the film.
Yeah.
You know, coming in on a Saturday, that way they're doing a day trip type thing. So
And how long is the drive from Tucson to Phoenix?
it's about an hour and 20 minutes.
Well, kind of like going anywhere in LA.
It's a date. Like you bring your date and come have a great time. And we've got the marketplace again this time. Rebel cheese. Have you all had Rebel cheese?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have.
You know Rebel cheese. Yes.
I have.
We're serving their cheese, but they're also setting up and selling at our event, which I think is huge because a lot of people love Rebel cheese.
Oh my gosh.
I have an off the wall question.
Sure.
But do we need to take a break first?
No.
Okay.
Go for it.
So my off the wall question is, you've got a lot on your plate.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot. You got a lot. And you've only mentioned a couple of things. You didn't even include the life stuff, like just being a person in the world. You're helping a lot of people. You're a blessing to a lot of people. But how do you stay motivated? Like, what is the thing, or not motivated, that's the wrong word, inspired to do what it is you do and wake up and just keep doing it every day when things don't kind of go the way you hoped, or when you find yourself needing to take out a personal loan or whatever it is? The self-care component that allows you to do what you do, and then what inspires you to just get up and do it every day.
I mean, of course, the animals are my biggest inspiration, right? You know, helping to influence someone that is making the change. That's happened in my life several times, a lot because of the information that I was sharing and coming from a place of non-judgment, knowing that we're all on our own journey. And so seeing that I've helped that person make the shift, I know how many animals are being saved. And again, as a human being, our health is so important. And I know, Babette, I know you can speak to that, because we all know what it does for us inside. You know, our bodies are healthy, but spiritually, that is my grounding force. I have bad days. There are days I wake up and I'm like, I just don't want to do this anymore. It's so tough and it's so heavy. Everyone knows, especially the energy on the planet right now, we can all feel it. It's not the best. You know, you just keep going through it and trying to make an impact. And so that's what keeps me going. And my yoga I do at home, and my hiking. So I moved to Payson, which is an area that is not vegan friendly at all. I'm in a hunting area. But I moved up here for the cannabis company. I dreaded it at first because I'm used to living in a city, but I couldn't be happier with the weather and being 10 minutes. I go out and I'm in a forest walking, and that's so
nice.
Healing for your soul,
Yeah.
you know, touching the trees. I'm a tree hugger. I'm like, give me that energy. So that's kind of what I do to keep going, is just hoping that I'm inspiring others.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
You know, and we were talking earlier about the importance of aligning yourself, if not with people, with things that uplift your spirits, because no matter what field you're in, no matter the successes every day, every week, the successes you might have achieved, life is life. And there's always going to be something that's going to butt up against you to make you feel like I can't do this anymore. And aligning with people who have like minds, or things that you know that you can go to, because people, I would call the hike one of your best friends, you know, The yoga is one of your friends, things that you can do and go to help to uplift you when you feel like you can't do this anymore. And then, last night I was having my own party with my people in my head, and they were, they were coming at me with blah, 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 blah. And then I woke up because I woke up at around 5 and I turned on the television on YouTube and I fell back asleep. But as I woke up, there was a gentleman on. May have heard him. His name is David Goggins, and he's a
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he's a motivation, but he was talking about managing both people, that they are necessary, having both of those people constantly to help to drive you in a direction that's for your betterment. So it just really kind of reassured me that these chatters are necessary, because the chatters are what propel you to the next thing. So when you say sometimes I just can't do it, I go to yoga, you found another thing that supports your next decision to be better or your next decision to keep thriving. And so many people don't have that. And so many people don't do that.
Yeah, and I'm blessed to have an amazing partner, Al and his wife Koshika, who've helped with this vision, and in the other company that we have, just wonderful people that support, and as I was mentioning, being up here in Payson, it's rough. I don't eat out because if I want to eat out, there's a Beyond Burger place, right? I can grab. But otherwise, I also want to tell you one of my inspirations is cooking. I love making different recipes, posting my food that I've been doing up. And that's exciting to me, is it's kind of experimenting and coming up with different flavors in food.
Yeah, when you live in a place that's not, I live close to Fayetteville, which is very vegan friendly, but the town I live in, Fort Smith, really isn't. And so it kind of motivates you to want to shop and cook, so you want to cook and make your own food. I'm not sure I even like eating out, really, to be honest with you, because I just like kind of putting it together, you know what I mean? And sort of getting inspired to do that. It's a creative outlet for me. So I totally, totally get that. I'm going to circle back to one more question that I asked you earlier, and I forgot to circle back to it. You and your family background, you shared a little bit of that, what you're doing now, but what was the connector? What was the point of connection that sparked VKind, and for you to start that? And because are you the founder, and how did all of that kind of come about? How did that happen?
Actually, my business partner was going to invest in a company that does meal delivery and vegan cheese. And we tried really hard to close a deal, but it didn't work out. And during that time, I was using another app, and I was like, I really want to have an app where that, is more user friendly and this, and I want to be able to find vegan businesses, and we need a resource for us where we can all come together. And that's kind of how it started. But I look at it now, and again, where VKind started as an app to where we are now with film and events. Film and events is what feeds my soul. It's not so much the other stuff, the content creation or that. It's the story and telling and the impact that you can make by that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I live for, is just to see that spark, that one little change. And like we tell everyone, you don't have to go vegan. You don't even have to go plant-based, right? Incorporate one meal a week, give it a shot, make a change that way, and see how you feel after doing that.
Yeah. See, you guys hear that? You don't have to go cold turkey. Well, in a matter of speaking, you don't have to go cold turkey. But just one thing, right? Babette, when you talk to people all the time, we're like, girl, I can't do that. Blah, 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 blah. Just one change, right? Just one thing they can change, to get them down that road. That one thing, I think, will change, just changes everything, especially if it's addiction, like if you're addicted to soda or addicted to sugar or addicted to whatever. If you can just, today I'm going to drink one less soda. I'm going to drink water instead of soda, whatever it is, those little components,
And Babette and I, we always talk about, how people just, and I know we say everyone's journey is everyone's journey, that people are going to grasp it when they can. But if you had a choice, if you could look down in the future and go, wow, that's what I'm up against if I don't change my diet, most people would. Most
Yeah.
people would at least make an attempt, but it's not until we're up against it, you
Yeah.
know, that, or when they tell us that now you only have this amount of time, that you're ringing someone's phone to get answers on how to make it better, when you could just start slowly and hopefully you start to feel better and then you start to make the change, you
I
know.
mean, it's the mindset of, being somebody who's proactive and preventative rather than having to fix a problem. That a lot of times I was doing some seminar or whatever about posting, and it said that people don't really respond to this will keep you from.
Right.
They respond to how can I get out of? And it's like, so you got to have a problem before you can see the need and the benefit. That's unfortunate, that's unfortunate. But I'm just grateful. I don't remember knowing anybody who was vegan when I was a kid, except for Deb. And she swears that she didn't do this, but she did. We were in New York, we were teenagers running around. I was raised on a very traditional, carnivore diet.
Yeah.
And she was the first person I ever knew who didn't eat meat. And I was like, what do you mean you don't eat meat? That's weird. Well, and because at the time, I don't think you were vegan, you were vegetarian, right?
Vegetarian, right.
Yeah, because you were still eating cheese or whatever. And so, but it was so fascinating to me. But then I looked at her and the way she looked, the way her body looked, the way her skin looked, and her energy and the way I was like, oh, I want to be like that.
Mhm.
So, but it didn't happen then. It was still some years later before I actually made the switch. But you feel so good. In my case, I went on a 21-day Daniel fast, no sweets, no meats, the biblical, and I felt so good. I was like, I'm never eating meat again. And then, of course, I was addicted to cheese, the opiates and all of that in the cheese, and kind of made the decision motivated by one of my kids who had a lot of mucusy kinds of things going on with asthma and all kinds of things, and cut the dairy, cut the white flour, and never look back, really,
So for those, I want to start with you, Babette. What is your go-to, if you could have your vegan meal, and I know you like your raw stuff, so even if it's raw, what would be your thing if you could go to it and say, I'm going to either make this or I want to have this. I could eat this almost every day. What would yours be, Babette?
Okay, so today, somebody that lives in the complex where I live is making me fried, what are those?
Mushrooms?
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I told she just texted me and said, I'm making your cauliflower today. What's a good time to share it with you? Because I didn't stop eating chicken because I didn't like chicken. That was the flesh I ate, chicken. And I preferred it fried. I love the crispy, the whole 9 yards. So when you were talking about the mushrooms, yeah, I'm all over that. Sylvia, loving the mushrooms, especially the fried, tasting like chicken. I know this cauliflower is going to be on point. I can hardly wait. I don't do a lot of that kind of stuff because it's not really my diet anymore, but it's a treat for me. Especially when somebody is going to prep it for me and serve it to me, I'm just in heaven. But what I go through a lot because when I'm interviewed and they post clips from the interview, meat eaters beat me up so bad. They don't care I'm 74 years old. They just attack me and just are so nasty. And even if I'm saying I'm sharing my lifestyle, it doesn't matter if I explain. You don't have to be, if you choose to eat a certain way, you don't have to beat me up. I'm in an interview right now. I'm being asked questions about my lifestyle, and I'm sharing that. But you know what? We all have got to wake up, because the way that we are practicing with this factory farming, industrial farming, we are killing the only planet that I know humans live on. And now we're killing it for ourselves. I should clarify that, because the planet will survive. We will be out of here. And we need to stop being so damn stubborn. We need to stop being so stuck. And we need to stop feeling like this planet, we're here by ourselves. We are only one species, and there are a whole lot of other species on this planet that share this home with us. Now, I could check somebody up one side and down the other if I really wanted to go back to the east side while you trying to mess with me about being vegan, because I could check you. But really and truly, we have got to start understanding every decision you make has a consequence, period. And we are one in this. We're one in this. So don't you bring out your little book talking about how amazing this book is and the man is, when you think that it made a mistake as it pertains to the teeth, the gear I have in my mouth that I can pick an apple and nourish myself. I don't have to jump on no cow's ass and try to tear it apart with these flat ass teeth that don't do that. My teeth don't do that. Okay? I ain't no lion, no tiger. I'm not none of that. So while you want to beat up on somebody that has decided to embrace the whole, stop for a second and look in the mirror, look at yourself, and understand that your decisions too have consequences for the whole. Anyway, I don't know why I said all that.
You better teach, baby.
But
You
I just say, Star, I love you so much, because whenever you've had us, you caught me out of nowhere. I didn't know who Star Simmons was. VKind, who? But you pulled us and you nurtured us and you took care of us and you loved us for the period of time. And every time you got something going on, you come back to your team and be like, I got this going on. Y'all want to be a part? You always do. You are full of so much love. And guess what? Everything that you've done is just part of the journey, boo. It's just part of the journey. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Exactly.
Oh, good.
And I love you for all that you do.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank
So,
you.
and we're gonna keep all that in because it's all beautiful.
It's all
It's
beautiful.
always time to go.
It's not just that, it's all true. It's all true.
But we still want to get to quickly your favorite dish, Star. Like if you could make something today, what
right.
would be yours?
Ooh, it has to be my mushroom tacos. I can live with my mushroom tacos.
And what do you put in it? Like which mushroom?
I love the shiitake, and I make a pineapple adobe sauce, and then I marinate those mushrooms in it, and then I make a fresh pineapple mango salsa to go on it. It's 5-star. I'm hungry now.
Stop.
Okay, what about you, Sil?
It depends on what mood I'm in, like what I'm doing.
Okay, so what mood would you be in today? Just pick one thing.
Well, I'll tell you what I had for breakfast or lunch or whatever meal it was. I still eat, like I like bread. So I had a 5-grain bread this morning. One of those live grain situations. I won't say the name, but you know what I mean, the live grain one. And I had chow gouda, vegan chow gouda, with a just egg patty.
Oh yeah.
And I'll take thinly slice some avocado and lay it across. That thing with some sriracha a little sprinkle of nutritional yeast, some arugula and spinach.
It's just building.
It's my breakfast sandwich with arugula and spinach and a sliced tomato. But sometimes I'll sear the tomato just lightly on either side to activate all those nutrients and pop it in there. And I might put a little smear of like some kind of tart cherry situation with jalapenos.
Oh,
You guys, you might have to inbox for the recipe.
I know.
It's so good. And when you know what I love though? When you cut something like that, and you look at it and you see every layer of all that beautiful, oh my gosh. And I mean,
I have to go back to something you said though when you started the conversation about it. I still eat bread. Are we not supposed to eat bread? Because I love my bread.
I mean, it depends on what kind of, I'll throw, look, baguettes are vegan anyway. So it just depends on, I'm not a white flour fan. So I will I'll use some other kind of flour just because it just, but it ain't like I never eat white flour, but 99% of the time I'm trying not to go there. But I love bread. Bread makes me happy.
Well, I love bread too. I try not to eat so much of it, but I don't know. It used to be ramen, but now I'm kind of like over the ramen for the moment. That's Babette. Babette. Look at her face.
It's the best ramen on the planet.
But anyway, so I'm done with that. But lately I've been on this untuna, I call it just so you can identify, get a visual. Untuna melt with the chickpea. With the garbanzo beans, but make the salt, you make your tuna, your like tuna-like substance, a base, and then you saute some onions with it. You add some pickles. You melt your vegan cheese on the bread with a little bit of vegan butter on both sides, and then you slap that on. Then you grill it again. You might even throw it in the oven So I had to start eating it without the bread because I will be eating this every day. I'm a creature of habit. So now I'm doing it with lettuce wrap too. I don't know. That's my favorite today. Tomorrow.
No, but it's actually really good. You brought that for us.
Well, I brought the salad for you.
Yeah, the salad.
And saving that alfalfa.
Yeah, well, that's in the fridge now that Sylvia told me to save it so I can make it. I'm also doing now walnut patties. Walnut out the ground beef, making non-beef.
Well, that's how I make my burgers at the restaurant. Walnut.
Yeah.
That burger. Have you had her burger? There's nothing.
Yes, I have.
I know you have. You haven't had it, right, Sylvia?
Oh, girl, I've been to that restaurant more than once.
Oh, that's my favorite thing is that burger.
Oh, no, it's so good. It's so good. But see, Terrah, you got to plug your ears because if you don't like peanut butter, you're not going to like this. Because Terrah,
but we're running out of time, so we can't.
But you know what? At some point, we're going to talk about our recipes because I make a peanut butter pie with a raw crust.
Hey, you know what we should do? We should do a Sunday Bites and Tidbits recipe book.
And we should.
Yeah.
Because we can have raw, we can have cooked, we can have other things, we can have
all our different recipes.
And desserts. Oh my gosh.
And our friends' recipes, they can throw them in there, Wow.
Yeah, even just snap up her recipe. And when we have guests and they give a recipe.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, well, anyway, we are down to time. So anyway, Star has VKind coming up, the VKind experience out in Arizona, in Phoenix, Arizona, which has a nice, beautiful component of cannabis for those of you who like to partake and want to learn more about it. And really, the science behind it, not just smoking to get high, but, or whatever they do with cannabis, because I don't even know, because I don't do nothing. But with that said, we ask all of our guests this. If your life were a book, what would be the title of your book?
How the hell did I get here? I don't know. That just came out. So I don't know.
It sounds like there'd be a lot of comedy in it. We want to thank you so much for joining us. And thank you guys for tuning in. And as we always end our show, Sylvia, you start.
Nobody can do you better than you.
Go ahead, Babette.
Nobody can do you better than you.
And remember, nobody can do you better than you. The Star.
I said, nobody can do you better than you.
That's right. So don't even try.
That's right.
Next time on Sunday Bites Tidbits.
Bye.
I may not think like you, but it's alright.